Hey, welcome to the Blueprints to Buildings podcast. I'm your host, Glenn Palmer, and on this show, we interview the movers and shakers in the world of property development and real estate. Now, before we dive in, a very quick word. This show is brought to you by a new visual technology that is quietly making waves in the property industry. Developers are using it to cut down on design costs, accelerate off sales plans in ways that sound almost too good to be true. If you're curious, message me directly on LinkedIn at Glenn Palmer Online or check out the show notes below. Now, today I am joined by Rob. Rob, you're going to have to apologize if I get it wrong, but it's Mastriano. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
so,
Yes, sir.
so Rob is a decorated combat veteran, former JSOC helicopter pilot, which is awesome. Award-winning 3D artist for film and AAA games, an educator and founder of LJC Kingdom Real Estate, whose mission goes far beyond just buying and selling homes. He's bringing hope, purpose, and giving homes to those in need, one life at a time. Rob, really appreciate you taking your time out. What sounds to be like a very busy schedule. So thanks for coming on.
No, it's my pleasure and it's my honor and man, just thank you so much. You made me sound a lot better than I actually am. I wasn't a pilot in the military. I got my pilot's license afterwards, but still yeah, I know how that
It's
sounds.
still
It's
awesome. It's
very
still
very
awesome.
cringe. You're
You
like,
got your pilot's license. It's still awesome.
well, I can't fly a helicopter, what is this guy doing? But I've been blessed to just go where God has taken me, and it's been crazy. So,
Nice.
but it's all you know, uh,
Yeah.
as the saying goes, all things for good. So
Yes.
he's worked it all out for good, and
Nice.
yeah, the heart is to love Him and to serve His people,
Yeah.
His
Oh,
children, which is
lovely.
everybody, right?
Yeah.
Humankind. So, uh,
Exactly.
as much as we can do that, like I'm all for that. I love it.
Nice. I love
Uh,
it. So let's kick off with a first question, Rob, and it's someone that I ask absolutely everybody, Rob. And that is if time travel became a reality and you had a chance to go back in time to when you first started your career, what advice would the person you are now actually tell your younger self?
mm. Uh, it's a great question. That is an amazing question because I ask people that all the time. Mine's a bit
Hello.
different. I say like, as a 40-year-old, it's usually typical to people who have a little bit more life experience than myself. So,
Yeah.
um, I've got some really good answers and just some really crazy answers. Sometimes people won't change a thing, and I tend to lean towards that side of the argument of uh, I believe that the place that we are in now
Hmm.
is because for good or for ill, life can be suffering at most times,
Yeah.
and I believe in that suffering and in those challenges, um, it builds character and it
Yeah.
it leads us into spaces that we otherwise could not have operated in without those trials and tribulations. Um, I think, and the season that I'm in right now, I would say that to not be afraid of failure.
Mm.
Um, I there's a lot of people that are at risk adverse to failure. I think maybe Silicon Valley is probably the only spot on the planet where they really understand what failure actually is. And it's not this scary thing, it's something to strive for. As humans, we learn. I don't know what the data is. You could probably pull it up and put it up on screen, but
Mm.
we learn way more as humans from our mistakes and our shortcomings than we
Oh,
ever do
definitely.
from knocking it out of the park the first try. It
First
feels
time,
really
yeah.
good. Don't get me wrong. That dopamine hit is just amazing. Um, but I think making mistakes and failing has taught me that one, um, a great bit of humility that
Mm,
I'm not as I should not rely on my own skills and abilities as much as a lot of people do. That I'm not the smartest person in the room, and that I have to lean on people. And I was created for community and relationship. And um, there's a saying in the military, and I'm sure in the British, SAS and those crazy Marines over there. But
mm,
if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go
yeah,
far, go together. Right.
yeah.
So
That's one of my favorite sayings, to be
yeah,
honest.
don't be afraid to fail. Like
Yeah,
you need to. I'd rather get all the mistakes out of the way first and foremost, and then just seek wise counsel.
yeah,
And then act as soon as possible. Just work all the kinks out. Get it
yeah.
sorted, as you guys like to say.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get in
yeah.
there. Get stuck in as soon as
Yeah,
possible. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Wise.
what built the empire, right?
That's it.
So,
That's it. So wise
yeah.
words, man. So Rob, you've operated in some of the most demanding environments imaginable when you were in the army. So what lessons from the military have had the biggest impact on how you actually serve your clients today?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Another good question. Yeah. I wouldn't trade my time in the military for anything, you know.
Yeah,
But I think it was General Chesterton. Or Chester. He's a famous World War II general. I think he was in the Battle of the Bulge and said, "If you're going through hell, keep going." And another one was "War is hell," and it really is the most chaotic, uh, unfortunately hellish experience that you really get to see
yeah,
humanity at its it's not its greatest, right?
mm,
And there's good things and there's evil things, and it's still going on today, right?
yeah,
I think it's living in a broken world with broken people. I don't think that's ever going to change, but um it did. I would say it is the Olympics of testing oneself.
yeah,
You never know how you're going to react. I've seen very strong men, when the bullets start flying, not react in the way that you would think
that they would.
that their biology, right? And it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to, in fact, if you're not terrified, I would question your humanity a little bit,
Hmm.
maybe your psychology, but
Hmm.
it is a very, it's failure there is measured in lives. So
Yeah,
that's not a good place to make mistakes.
no,
So we try to, as the U.S. especially, we try to, especially in Joint Special Operations Command, JSOC, we call it stacking the deck. So we like to go into fights that, it's like a 90% that we're going to win that fight
yeah,
because of all the assets that we bring to bear and the training and just the caliber of the individuals and exposing yourself as much as you can in training to those sort of environments and those conditions to where um it's another day at the office, so to speak.
yeah,
And that takes a certain kind of individual. And it's not for everybody, but yeah, you learn. For me personally, I learned exactly where the line is. So, um, it's for those that have never been in, you're not missing anything.
mm,
Don't think that you need military experience to be successful in life or to live a fruitful, happy, joyous life. Um, but for me, I did walk away with deep wounds and scars, but it gave me a really solid understanding of where my line was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
And then most people, they don't go from the army to then go to AA games and film to then go into property. How
Right.
has that experience as, the 3D artist influenced the way that you see the homes, the design, and, helping sort of clients visualize the possibility when all they're looking at is an empty house?
Mm, yeah, that's great. Well, originally I wanted to go into video games. I didn't want to join the military. I grew up in a military family, so
Right.
I was getting calls of my friends because we grew up on military bases all around the world, and um, for me, my friends were young men that had graduated high school and joined the. I always had older friends. I liked surrounding myself people with a bit more life experience than I had.
Yeah.
So we're not all making the same bonehead mistakes. We can be like,
Yeah.
I don't think you should do that, buddy. So but as far as the 3D aspect goes, I think it's amazing. I find that visualization, I think one of the two main components, especially in real estate, is that people don't tend to think about is the visualization aspect of it and being able to get that as close to the end product as possible.
Yeah.
Because as humans, we're already building up this image in our mind, and with that comes a good agent uh will be very good at expectations management, is what I call it.
Hmm.
You know, uh the model, right? The showroom floor here in the States, we have spec homes, right? And they're
Yeah.
done to they're the Ferrari, right, on the showroom floor. And it's,
Yeah.
you know, and everything has a price point. So there's going to be give and takes. And, if you're spending for a model that has an A track and not a Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay and all that,
Yeah.
you kind of have to manage some expectations like that. The
Yeah.
cabinets aren't going to look like this, it's just so that But
Yeah.
I think as humans, we love to dream and we can't help but visualize certain things. So then when that reality doesn't, at the end, doesn't align with that expectation, um, I don't want to say that people feel cheated or
Mm.
deceived or anything like that, but we developed the technology for with John Favreau for the LED volume is what we call it. I don't know what everybody else, but it replaced blue and green screen. So you put the goggles on,
Yeah.
and the director can walk around the virtual set basically and decide where he or she wants to put their cameras and
Mm.
all this stuff that George Lucas would have to fly out to the Sahara Desert, right, to and pay a bunch of money before he could even make those decisions. So
Yeah.
I think especially for commercial real estate and a lot bigger bricks and mortar type, to use UK vernacular, um you're talking a big football stadium,
Yeah.
it'd be
Yeah. Yeah.
nice for the investors to be, you
Be
know
able to see what and
I
walk
don't know.
it, walk through it, and be able to
Man.
see what it looks
Yeah,
like.
yeah, it cuts my soul, but a lot of these teams now are owned by oil companies and
Yeah.
Qatar Airways. But
Yeah.
hey, if the investor can get inside a headset, and I think they'd feel more comfortable about, yes, this is a good direction moving forward. No, this is not what we had envisioned for the project.
Hmm.
And in that way, it builds that trust, right?
Yeah.
That this is This is as
Yeah.
close as possible to what,
It
you're
could be.
going 300 here in the US, it's about 300 to 350,000 US dollars for the average home.
Mm,
So, and it's the second most stressful thing in life compared to losing. Number one is losing a family member to death
yeah.
and planning the funeral and all that. So, very stressful. So,
Yeah.
as much as that fog of war and that uncertainty that you can eliminate, I think it's great.
Yeah.
And it opens
Yeah.
up a whole new industry as far as architectural design and all that sort of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And
I
one
think
of the
it's great.
things, Rob, that I really like and admire about you and your mission is that it goes beyond transactions. So what actually inspired you and the vision behind LJC Kingdom and the goal of giving those to people that are suffering and are in need, which I hugely, hugely respect and admire.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I wasn't always a good person. In fact, I'm probably the last guy that you would probably want to have on your podcast or speak to or even strike up a conversation with that. Um, and so for me, um, just to be 100% transparent, I'm recovered from porn addiction.
Mm,
Um, what's it? Codependency enabling,
mm,
people pleasing, all that sort of things. The feeling of being unlovable, and
mm,
because of the person that I had become in the military. And for me, um, when I came to have a relationship with God, that all changed for me. And
yeah.
a big part of that was sitting in those circles and those meetings and realizing that, my thing's just a little bit different. Like they didn't go to war, but it's kind of the same pain,
Yeah.
suffering, and trauma. And um, I do believe that people have the capacity um, to change and rebuild. Now, I think there's only one way in which that works. There's a million ways it can go off the rails,
Yeah.
but my ultimate goal and what my mission uh, is to look after the broken, the suffering, the orphan, and the widow.
Mm.
So we already partner with um, a nonprofit in Dallas that helps bring families back together. It's incarcerated women that come out of, they have to go through a screening process, and it gives them a chance to get back on their feet and then to also be reunited with their children that have been placed into the foster care system.
Mm.
So
Mm.
for me, that is I'm also a Tim Tebow Foundation. Me and my wife are Tim Tebow Foundation rescue members. In the U.S. here, it's a famous football player that started a foundation to
I know, Tibo.
save children from human trafficking. So
Mm.
we have a heart for that. Um, Unfortunately, a lot of these victims, 90% of them, I think, is the statistic, wind up later in life to be the perpetrators
Yeah.
of these
Yeah.
crimes, unfortunately. So, um, having a way to break that cycle and break that generational trauma and curse, I think it's one thing to
Yeah.
bring them out. And someone had a great saying the other day. There's recovery and then there's restoration. And if you don't have restoration, um, the recovery statistically, I mean, uh, you save people from these things, but you need to give them the abilities and the skills to be able to now have a prosperous and fruitful life
Yeah.
and to heal. Um, and the people need a space in order to be able to do that. And,
Yeah.
having a home is not, you know, kind of seems like a far fetch, especially there in the UK, right? Like metropolitan London, I'm thinking of, so
Yeah.
brick and mortar, man, it's just for people without all those situations,
Yeah.
still very hard to achieve, right?
Yeah, and it's these things that we take for granted every single day. Is
Yeah.
that we're fortunate enough because we've got a roof over our heads, and we've got a nice stable life and stuff like that. But not everybody has that. And what you doing, Rob? And I don't care what people did in the past. I am always people can change, and people can change for the good, people can change for the bad. But for me, my personal experience is if people are ready to change and they change for the good, then I don't care what they did in the past. That's
Mm.
forgivable. What they're
Yeah.
doing now. So
Hmm.
take my hat off to you, buddy, and what you guys are doing. It's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah. No, we just, anywhere we can. I mean, you don't have to start some sort of foundation or anything like that, or pour a bunch of money into trying to raise,
Yeah,
hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a quadplex to, help just go into your community and volunteer.
yeah.
Feeding people, feeding the homeless is it's only like they just do it once a month.
Mm,
Like, and then, it's it's a little things that I feel go the longest, the
yeah,
furthest, right? Just,
yeah, yeah.
volunteering with your local search and rescue, or just helping your fellow child of God, right?
Mm, yeah.
So yeah.
So Rob, as a professor, a mentor, soldier, business owner,
Oh,
you've spent
jeez.
your life developing people, haven't you? So what do you think, in your opinion, separates good leaders from a great leader? And what do they do differently?
Sacrifice. First and foremost, sacrifice and love.
Yeah.
To me, the greatest example of a leader is obviously my God, who
Mm,
paid the ultimate sacrifice to save all of humanity and restore them back to their rightful place that he had originally intended.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I say love, and I'm sorry for what my nation has done to the definition of love, because it's quite skewed with, it's not what Disney has put into everyone's mind.
Mm,
Um, Love, I'll boil it down to the basics. Love is wanting the best for someone else.
yeah.
And true love is wanting the best for someone else at the expense of yourself. It costs something. Love costs you something. So if I'm a good leader, first I first and foremost, I believe you have to serve. You have to be a good servant, and you have to be a good follower,
Mm,
and you have to follow the right type of people to be able to see and to learn and to recognize. You'll feel it in your spirit. We've all had bad leaders, right?
mm,
It's more common than not. But um true love, and as a leader, I'm sacrificing all the time. In the military, we say that officers eat last. So my men are my top priority, and
mm,
their health and their mental state and their if one of my guys goes into a firefight and he's worried about his wife and children back home, I will not take him on mission
mm.
because his mind is elsewhere,
Yeah.
and I need him in focused on the task at heart.
Yeah.
So having that capacity, and good leaders will. good leaders will raise people up to the level to where they're no longer the leader. You
Yeah.
have 20 or so individuals, however much it is, that are now leaders.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so sacrificing, growing, leading, guiding for the whole, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times that has a cost, and that cost needs to be paid. And first and foremost, you're a leader in your house. Uh, Whether you're a man or a woman, you practice in your house. Be a good
Mm.
leader in your house. Love those around you. Want the best for them. Sacrifice your time, your um, to teach, to but also be open to following. Be open to
Hmm.
learning some new things. Learn different perspectives, different cultures, different um, and I think those two things, I mean, we could make it three if you want to tack on being a good servant as
Mm.
a prerequisite for being a leader, but
Yeah.
being a good servant, true love, right? Wanting the best for others at the cost of yourself,
Yeah.
and then um, sacrifice.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
They're brilliant. They are good mottos to stick by, Rob. Good mottos to stick by.
Well, it's I'm a stubborn man, so these are these lessons have come the hard way, believe me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when people list off my accomplishments, it just sounds like, hey, this guy just really he doesn't know what he's doing. He's just jumping around from thing to thing. But
Well, so,
yeah,
moving on to the technology side of things, and as we know, technology it's changing super rapidly. You know, AI is just a common word now. There's virtual walkthroughs. There's digital buying experiences that are transforming the whole home buying process. So, where do you see that actually changing and maturing over the next decade or so? I mean, with
there are much I would absolutely defer to your countryman uh, John Lennox on the subject. He wrote two brilliant books about AIs, and I think he covered it far better than I ever will.
mm,
Um, as far as where the future is, no one, at least in my humble opinion and belief, no one knows the future except God.
no.
And we have certain prophecy, but I'm I feel like that is more of a distraction than a help for some most of the people today. I think it's a good thing for all the reasons that I talked about, the visualization, the
Yeah.
inspiring trust and confidence in the client, and um, just being able to put up even augmented reality, right? You go to the site and you erect the model and you look through the glasses and you can see uh that balcony is kind of close to the neighboring building or that power line or things like that, some things
Mm,
that would save a lot of time and money, right?
yeah.
And give investors and the buyer and everybody involved I call it a warm and fuzzy. um
Yeah.
it has its benefits, but I will defer to just using common sense and looking back to the recent past. We had the Industrial Revolution. I
Hmm.
don't know if you know this, but when computers first came out, we had people so scared of losing their jobs and what computers would do to the world, not to mention even shortly after that with Y2K. Apparently,
Yes,
everybody's forgot about Y2K. I don't know.
I
People
remember
were
it
like selling off
vividly.
their stuff, and the world was gonna end, just like what was it, 2020. I was in Afghanistan at the time, or 2012. The Mayan calendar, all that stuff.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
always
yeah.
going to be something that is going to cause fear and uncertainty. That's
Yeah.
life. But these people were going into the offices and they were cutting the power cables of these new Macintoshes and computers, right? Like, uh, there's going to be good and there's going to be bad. Unfortunately, we live in a broken world with broken people,
Mm.
and but there's good and there's beauty and there's justice and there's peace and mercy and grace and all those things.
Yeah.
And just with that, there's going to be good and there's going to be bad.
Yeah.
The future, I will leave that up to God.
Yeah.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried about it. I have a job to do,
Yeah,
and I'm going to
I can
focus on
sort
my
of
my
I
job.
can sort of see it helping like overseas buyers and investors where you don't want to jump on a plane and you don't want to go and see the property. Let's say it's in Dubai or it's
Sure.
in the
Yeah.
States or somewhere. And
Yeah.
being able to sit down, walk through, experience where the sun's going to set and experience the different views and from
Yeah.
the bedroom window that
Right.
has a enormous potential. So I can definitely see that coming along and being more interactive. But one of the things that I've always said is you can't replace a human touch. You can't you can't replace that human connection. So
Exactly. Yeah.
I think there'll always be that
Yeah.
in some
Architecture.
form or another.
I agree 100%. Architecture has a beauty and a human element. I mean, some of these structures are just so beautiful in the spaces that these men and women have been able to create, that just you walk in and you just feel peace.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of a couple like houses out in the middle of the woods or the middle of the desert even. Um, AI can never replicate that.
no,
AI can't.
it'll show you what
It's not a person. It has no
yeah,
soul. It has no sense of love, of anger, of
yeah,
it's binary, right? It's a
yeah,
machine, right?
yeah,
So, um, and machines can be helpful or they can be used for ill, right?
yeah.
So, um, I think as far as the brick and mortar and real estate and commercial real estate, I think there's a lot of good that can come of it.
Mm,
Especially, maybe predicting market trends. Here in Texas, we're half the size of Europe. We have the largest wind and solar farms in the entire world. Most people don't know that. But they always, oh, the Texas market's declining. And
mm,
it's like, well, yeah, when you have the population of a third world country, basically, and you're kind of running a country within a country.
yeah,
The best country in America, I would say, the Republic of Texas, is yeah, of course, because our pool and our data set is just. But if you can have AI help you sort
mm,
through that massive amount of data, then it'll allow people to make better and informed decisions. Use it
yeah,
as a tool,
yeah,
as long as it stays within the realm of a tool,
yeah,
and used for good. Then, of course, but like I
yeah.
said, not everything's used for good.
No,
And
of course not. And that's the unfortunate thing, Rob, is wherever you get some new technology, there's always going to be someone there that is going to try and utilize it for nefarious reasons, unfortunately.
yeah,
But yeah, coming from your 3D background, do you think that these immersive digital twins, these interactive buying experience, are gonna slowly become the new standard, allowing buyers and investors to, truly experience a home before it's even been built? Do you think that's gonna be on the cards?
that's a great question. And I think to a certain extent, we have that now. You certainly, I don't know about yourself, but we here in Texas, it's not uncommon for people to be out of state and to buy a house sight unseen, just based off of photographs, right? And
Yeah.
I feel like things like, especially Zillow has made it quite clear. despite whatever legality and lawsuits they're going through currently, and maybe homes.com, to where will the home buying experience be more akin to Amazon? I don't know, maybe. It seems to be on that trajectory, but
Yeah.
like you said, I don't know about anybody else, but I, as a human, um, we have no debt except for obviously our home. So
Hmm.
I'm not going to go $350,000 and not be here every single weekend or every free moment, checking and seeing and touching.
Yeah.
Hey, that doesn't look right. What about
Yeah.
this? What about that? Uh, because it's AI is a perfect representation, right? The textures, digital textures
Mm.
are perfect,
I
they're
mean, and coming from the gaming industry where you have come from,
yeah.
a lot of these technologies like Unreal Engine and all of that sort of stuff, it's
Hmm.
the visual aspect is very, very close now
Yeah.
to to reality. So one of the things that I do love about these emerging technologies is the money saving. You could say, okay, you could have a wall, it's going to be X amount, it's going to be, 12 meters by 12 meters. Here's where your piping is going to go. If you put your piping here, it's gonna affect this and this. So you can work
Mm,
out the kinks before you even, put a spade in the ground. And that is the sort of thing that I love about this technology is, it is going to make things easier, but as I've always said, you will never ever get
yeah.
rid of the human touch. That human
Yeah.
connection, people want to buy from people. They don't want to buy from machines.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion, and
Yeah.
I think that's how it's going to be.
Yeah.
And then,
I love I love sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
no, no,
I
no.
I just wanted to add to that. I personally love the virtual staging. I think
Yeah.
that's great. Being able to take a photo and then um virtually stage it so you're not having to pick. Now, if I owned a staging business, I would obviously have some personal bias against virtual staging, but
Mm,
um now I don't have to pay to have somebody bring the furniture, because I think sales increase by at least like 50% if you have it staged with the furniture. Again, humans like to visualize, they like to
mm,
dream, and they like to be like, oh, okay, I could put a lamp there, I could put the bed over here, and there wouldn't be the glare on the television or things like that. So yeah, even with the tools that we have now, I think it's been very positive, most of them.
yeah.
Um, I don't think it's going to upset the real estate industry in the way that, in fact, I think it's going to allow more people that aren't investing in real estate to be able to compete on a level which you would have to have a real estate investment hedge fund, and having somebody manage that, because you can compile all that data and make a very informed decision, like we said,
Yes.
with and but just be smart. It's investing is gambling, and again, it comes down to when you sign that line, the pucker factor is very. I think it's about an 11 on the meter. It's pegged out on the meter, right? The
Yeah.
I just put myself $350,000 into debt
Yeah. And
for
and
30 years.
if I'm going to do that, I want to be in a place where I'm going to really like it.
I want to
Uh,
feel as confident in that decision, and an estate agent, a good one, right? And a good broker, and a company or people where their heart is not in, they don't care whether you buy or sell or invest. They care about you and your
yeah.
future and your
Yeah.
success, because if you do well, everybody does well. People are more happy. You
Yeah.
know, we don't have all this division, and nobody's a slave and having to go to work because now $50,000 underwater and all these other things. So I think it's great. I think it's going to open up a lot of opportunity, especially for the common man,
Mm,
as they say. But yeah, that what you brought up, especially for the architectural and CAD design
mm,
specifically, I've already seen some amazing things with that. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, Rob, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the
Oh,
show.
the pleasure was mine.
I've enjoyed the
It's now
conversation.
morning.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
go
I
into the
saw it
back
getting lighter
garden
and
and
lighter.
watch the sunrise. Yeah.
Nice.
This
Uh, so
handcrafted day that God has made for us.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Although
thank you.
you're in the future, so is today going to be a good day?
Yeah, I mean it's not
Yeah.
that bad. I mean it's what? It's 12:30 now and it's sunshiny. So it was raining this morning. I was
Oh, and the sun's out?
yeah, the sun's actually out.
Oh, that's a great day in the
Yeah,
UK.
yeah. So thank you very
Yeah,
much. Thanks for
that was
my
funny.
listeners and YouTube viewers as well. Rob, before we go, if
Mhm.
listeners or viewers they want to get in contact you, want to talk about what you do at LJC Reality, what are the best ways for my listeners and viewers to do that?
Ooh, I'm on LinkedIn. Um, I try to stay off of social media as much as possible, but
Yeah,
LJC Kingdom Realty on Instagram and Facebook.
yeah. And I'll put them
They
links
can
below anyway.
yeah, and LinkedIn. Those are going to be the big three. But you can also just shoot me an email at robmastriano.com or at gmail.com. And
Yeah.
yeah, I would love to hear from all you beautiful people, and I hope that you are blessed and favored. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you very much. And
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
very quick reminder, this episode was supported by a prop tech visual platform that's changing how forward-thinking developers plan, pitch, and sell. It's not really mainstream yet, but it soon will be. If you want to stay ahead of the curve, you know exactly where to find me. You've been listening to the Blueprints to Buildings podcast. I'm your host, Glenn Palmer, and today I was joined by Rob Mastriano. Thanks again for listening and watching, and I'll see you
Thank
on the
you.
next episode.